What is up, human debris and Galahorn peacekeepers? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we're returning to the post-disaster universe and Mobile Suit IBO. Last time we met Orga and Mika, who decided to take control of their PMC after being abandoned during an attack by Galahorn. They need money, however. Kudelia mentions that her sponsor Nobilis will help them out. This time the team finally sets off towards Earth. They are set up to fail, and Mika learns how to read. So let's get into this. Todo is trying to find an out because of his mustache. Their plan for transporting Kudelia is to head to an orbital mass driver, then transfer to geosynchronous orbit, and then head to Earth. They're going to have to take some scenic routes, but that will be full of civilian terrorists that may be just as bad as Galahorn. Todo suggests the Orcus Company routes. Eugene says, "Yo, we really letting this guy talk still?" Orga says that they will keep him in order. At Hakafune, they have a ship called Will of the Wisps. They will send Akihiro to go pick it up. They have to take this seriously as this is their first official mission as Tekkadan. Coral meets with McGillis and Galio, who are going through all the details of their operation and budget. He is afraid of what the two will find in their audit, and he tries to not so subtly bribe them. McGillis says, "Bitch, we are Space Doge. We are cutting the fat in here. Don't make me cut you." Coral blames Crank for all of this. They are prepping Barbados for space, but Nadi doesn't even know if the Gundam can function in space. Meanwhile, Akihiro and his team are at Krise. He flashes back to a conversation with Orga. Orga hands him his contract, which is essentially a human pink slip. Akihiro is effectively a slave to Maruba and CGS. If you notice, he has a red stripe through his uniform, which signifies who is human debris. Handing a contract back to human debris effectively makes him a free man. They choose to stay and help Tekkadan. The team cuts a deal with Orgus, but they get 45% of the profits, which is a hefty chunk. "Todo, you dick." Nobilis Gordon wires money to Kudelia. This is a flashback. She thinks she is weak and wants to do well by Tekkadan. Mika asks her to come with him. McGillis and Galio are on Mars searching for Kudelia themselves. She was said to be negotiating with Arbrow. Galahorn on Earth is made up of 4 economic blocks. The Strategic Alliance Union, which is North America and South America. The African Union represents Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. The Oceania Federation is Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. What the hell happened to Sydney in this universe? And finally, Arbrow, which is Russia, Canada, and Alaska. There's a timeline where Russia finally claims Alaska. What a world. Coral also met with Kudelia's father. They believe Coral is targeting her. Mika takes Kudelia to Sakura Farms, owned by Biscuit's grandmother, Sakura Pretzel. Mika thanks Atra for the good luck charm. It's time to harvest some corn. Corn! If you know that reference, you are going to hell. Mika tells Kudelia that Sakura Farms sells the corn at $50 per 10 kilos. Most of this is used for biofuel. It provides minuscule amounts of money, and Biscuit helps bring in the rest. He mentions human debris and how they will never find work, even once free. Things here on Mars are rough, so he thanks Kudelia for hiring them. Atra is getting jealous. Galio almost hits Cookie and Cracker with his car. Mika doesn't hesitate to respond. He says this cookie doesn't crumble. Sakura tells her to let him go. They weren't harmed. Biscuit notes the logo. Kudelia's maid, Fumitan, also notes this, and she tells Kudelia to hide in the corn. Mika apologizes to Galio, but he tries to punch him. Mika dodges with ease. He notices the Alea Vignana system. Galio is sickened by this. McGillis apologizes to the kids and entices them with candy. He asks about the battle around here recently. Biscuit makes up a story about military training happening around here. McGillis tells Mika he would make a great soldier and makes his leave with his boyfriend. McGillis knows that CGS existed and is now under control of Tekkadan. He knows the kid is a part of it. When Mika gets back to Tekkadan, Olga shows off their new logo. He says they must protect this. Meanwhile, Todo and his mustache are planning something. Orga meets with Mr. Orcus and his team. They finalize their deal to travel under their protection. Coral is going through some self-hate when he is informed of Orcus wanting to help them steal Kudelia. He is plotting against Tekkadan already. Ein wants to avenge Lieutenant Crank. Mika gives Kudelia some Mars palms, which is a date, as he stands watch for the night. This is what Mika is eating throughout the series. High fiber. His poops are probably very healthy. Kudelia eats it and is disgusted. Orga also turned this down earlier. It seems it's Mika that only likes him. The next day, Atra wants to join Tekkadan. She even quit her job. She is welcomed with smiles, but Eugene doesn't like how laid back everyone is. Coral, desperate to cover up his mistake, informs McGillis of where Kudelia will be. McGillis thinks that having her will pacify the Martian citizens, so he is down with helping Coral in his ruse. Remember, Coral too is trying to get that funding from Nobilis. Kudelia finally departs from Mars to Earth. As they leave, they spot a ship, but it is too early. The ship sends out mobile suits. It isn't Orcus, it is Gallahorn. Eugene instantly goes, "Toto, what the hell did you and your mustache do?" These grazes are purple colored to designate a space type. This is similar to the Leos in Gundam Wing, where ground units were green and space units were purple. Coral is in the Grays Commander type. The EB-06S Grays Commander type is identical to the standard Grays, with the exception of the improved antenna for upgraded communications. It gives this unit good range even under AHAB waves. This unit has a rear skirt on the booster pack. The Commander type also has the same loadout as the standard Grays. They want Kudelia. They open up their cargo bay where Mika is waiting in Barbados. This is Barbados' second form. The second form of Barbados is the first under Tekkadan. It uses the shoulder armor from a captured Grays, giving it the nano-laminate armor. He attacks one of the Grazes. McGillis doesn't want them killed, but Coral doesn't seem to care. Ein thinks this isn't the way Crank would handle this. Also, why did Atra join them on this journey? Orcus begins firing, but someone fires on them. It is Akihito and the human debris crew in the Will of the Wisps. It is an Isabari. The Isabari is Tekkadan's flagship under command of Orga. The bridge extends out during combat situations. This doesn't have the nano-laminate armor. The mobile suit hangar is located underneath the hull. Weapons include a main gun with anti-aircraft guns and a missile launcher. It has a wire anchor and can utilize the Alea Vignana system. The designer Ebikawa said it is 3 times wider than the Ptolemaeus. Coral rushes at Mika, but he is shot by a Graze. It is Akihito in the stolen Graze. He throws Barbados' mace at Mika. He grabs it and impales the torso of the Graze, killing Coral. Ein rushes Akihito. While the third guy is dead before I could even finish this sentence, let me finish! Mika is met with a new mobile suit. It is Galio in the Schwalbe Graze. The EB-05S Schwalbe Graze was born during Graze's development process, with the desire to create a high-output, high-mobility variant. Its mobility is thanks to the flight unit. This was planned for mass production, but was too cost-effective. Very few of these have been produced, and it is considered a command unit on the battlefield. Galio's unit has a purple color scheme, and a lance held in the right arm. Weapons include a wire claw, a 120mm rifle with a short rifle optional config, and a battle axe. It also has a head sphere sensor. McGillis is able to locate information on the Gundam and find that it is from the Calamity Wars. He says that anytime a Gundam shows up, history books are written. He heads out in his Schwalbe Graze. McGillis rushes in and spots a weakness in the nano-laminate armor. He fires at Mika. Will of the Wisps is being attacked as they lose attitude. There is a mobile worker near an asteroid in the distance. They can swing around with the help of the mobile worker. Orga wants to go out, but Eugene tells him he has to be a captain. He will head out. Orcus thinks they're using the asteroid as cover. Will of the Wisp fires their anchor, allowing Eugene to approach the asteroid in the mobile worker space type. The TK-53S CGS mobile worker space type is a space variant of the mobile worker. This has propellant tanks and vernier thrusters instead of wheels. Weapons include a 30mm machine gun, an 8-tube missile pod, and a bomb container. It uses the Alea Vignana system. Eugene fires on the asteroid. He dumps propellant and fires it, causing an explosion. This moves the meteor, causing a short spin in the asteroid, catching the Orcus team off guard. The two Schwalbe Grazes try to capture Barbados. He recognizes the voice as the kid they met on Mars, since McGillis gave the kids chocolates. Mika goes, "Oh hey, it's Chocolate Man." He throws his mace at Galio, roughing him up. That mace is quite an effective weapon. Will of the Wisp passes by and Barbados grabs on. Tekkadan makes their escape. "We will meet once again, Chocolate Man!" Also, Ein is crying. I bet he's still hung up on Crank. McGillis receives a Spock coffin. It happens to be Toto telling Gallahorn to deal with this traitor. McGillis decides to not chase them after they have a lot to deal with after the death of Coral. Nadi is mad that there are no real records on Barbados. At the same time, both Nadi and McGillis discuss the Calamity Wars from the past. Barbados is one of 72 machines that are called a Gundam. There are 2 AHAB reactors on these units. The Alea Vignana system seems to operate one of them, now that they don't have Orcus. They need another guide. Perhaps they could rely on Tewas. They are a conglomerate around the Jupiter sphere that functions like a gang. Fumitan explains Ariadna to the crew. Since Ahab waves mess with communication, there is a network of individuals that bounce messages off of one another in what they refer to as a cocoon. This seems to be similar to how the onion router works, so you weirdos can do your dark web shenanigans. In this case, it can triangulate the path of a ship. Since there is end-to-end encryption, Gjallarhorn won't be able to just intercept it. Because of this explanation, Orga makes Fumitan the communications officer. She's the sailor of the group. While helping with lunches, Kudelia explains what is happening on Earth to Mika. He isn't that educated. We learn that during the Calamity Wars, the 4 blocks of Earth tried to lay claim to Mars and Jupiter. The Crise Autonomous Region is under control of Arbrow. She wants to negotiate freedom with the people of Arbrow. Mika says, "Oh, so you're the one that's gonna make me happy?" Mika knows the exact words to take the wind out of Kudelia. She also learns that he doesn't know how to read. Most of his piloting is intuitive. Also, most kids with Tekkadan don't know how to read as well. They are focusing on trying to survive. She wants to help them learn to read. But now she must teach all of them. Nobliss is informed of Coral's death and that the kids are quite amazing for protecting Kudelia. Ein is being questioned by McGillis about Coral and the Gundam. He mentions that he was shaken up by his tactics. McGillis noted that he didn't have any AI-generated moves in Gjallarhorn's database, and Mika's movements are unique. It is in fact the Alea Vignana system. Ein wants to join McGillis's ranks. If you're wondering what language Kudelia is teaching, it is God's chosen language, English. They can't contact Tewas, so they decide to head to their headquarters. Kudelia is starting to understand just how rough these kids have had it. They get a red alert. An unknown ship approaches. It is Maruba, and he wants his ship back. And that will do it for this episode. Orga plays the role of the cool guy, but Mika is the real cool guy, and Orga is afraid to let Mika down. Kudelia might not be able to save Mars, but she could help in the moment, and the moment requires English. Next time, we will meet Naze Turbine and the Turbines, a subsidiary of the Tewas. Mika fights against a Hyakurin, and does Orga kill Maruba? Maybe. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember to eat some Martian dates. Get that fiber. Peace.